What's going on, Master Duel fans? James Polk here. We are on a home stretch to the last part of set of matchups in Attribute 4. And of course, at the time that this video gets recorded and posted, meant to do this as of yesterday, but you know, playoffs make it happen, and of course, had to do a little DJ show from one of the guests at a birthday or something like that. But you know, that's how personal lives can be though. But regardless, just want to say thanks to everyone who's been following me on this channel, and also be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you haven't already, hit that notification bell to keep it so constantly updated. And judging by this hand, I'd say we are in a tough shape, maybe. Normal Traptrix Nepenthes into Traptrix Sarah. Oh, and of course, almost forgot in the voting polls, the last 12% of you voters with Traptrix as the last deck to showcase in Attribute 4. And of course, board state is Sarah 2 set. And of course, Nepenthes was for Sarah passing. Okay, branch, fusion-based deck. Fusion monsters on the field gets killed by battle or card effect sent to the grave. Target and special one of the fusion materials used for it. And set. Set 1 and pass. We chose not to attack because Sarah is too small. And speaking of small, I knew it. Gem Turtle. So most cases, upon flip, add a Gem Knight fusion from deck to hand. Okay, so up against Gem Knights. Interesting. Gem Turtle. Ash keeping Gem Turtle in check. Set. Top decks Dionea. Revived Nepenthes. Sarah setting Void Trap Hole. Sarah over Gem Turtle. You have got to be kidding me. Another high defender of Gem Elephant. During your main phase, return it to the hand, so honest. And then during damage calc, if this card attacked or was attacked, send one normal monster from hand to graveyard. This card gains 1,000 defense. So a tiny defensive honest. Sending Sapphire. And we end up losing 12. Gem Elephant to hand. Set. Probably that same Gem Elephant. So at this point, until we find ways to clear out Gem Elephant, we're not going to attack anytime soon. And even if we put up one of the strongest monsters on the field, Gem Elephant is going to be 2,900 defense upon being attacked. So in most cases, Alexandrite summoned Bottomless, Sarah getting Traptrix, Myrmilio, or Nepenthes getting Myrmilio, Myrmilio killing Branch, Sarah setting Gravedigger, and pass the turn because that set has to be Gem Elephant. Nepenthes Myrmilio for Rafflesia, Dionea Sarah for Caleria, Rafflesia, detach Nepenthes, break off Trap Hole. The fact that Caleria is Link summoned, and on top of that, Rafflesia is under Caleria, makes it so that any monster that is not pointing to something ends up dying. And lucky enough, that is a monster effect, meaning Rafflesia is safe from the arrow. And as a result, what do we hit? Called it Gem Elephant. Dionea for Nepenthes. Two together for Alamaris. Alamaris. Special Dionea. Rafflesia go up into Drill Driver. 18, 18, 17, lethal. And this next match, looking at this hand, I'd say we're gonna do some serious controlling. Normal summon Traptrix, no Sarah passing on this one. Okay, up against the Shiranuis. So Spirit Master summon, and we're not going to bottomless the Spirit Master, because if we do that, Spirit Master is going to target and destroy the Traptrix. So, no bottomlessing it. Spirit Master for Solitaire. Two together for Dagaris. Dagaris, attempt to draw two. Traptrix Trap-Hole Nightmare from the hand, courtesy of Traptrix. And two set. Summon Mantis. Mantis getting Myrmilio. 15. Shiranui style success. Special a zombie from the hand, but banish it whenever it leaves. Sure. Mizuki. Bottomless for hand. Did my opponent just Solemn Judgment the bottomless? If you are wondering, how did bottomless still work even though Solemn Judgment was supposed to negate it? It is because of Traptrix Traptrix. The activation and effects of normal traps in general activated on your field cannot be negated. So that means no 7 Tools of the Bandit, no Solemn Judgment, no wiretaps, none of that junk. The normal traps still works as long as Traptrix exists on your side of the field. And Traptrix 18. Mantis for Sarah. Summons another Spirit Master. Floodgate the Spirit Master. What the heck? Banish this. Target a zombie you control. That zombie is unaffected by everything else except its own. So basically towers for that turn. Interesting. So let's see what's the case for Spirit Master. Solitaire from Graveyard. Sarah. Getting Ginli C. Solitaire. Tribute Spirit Master for Spectral Sword. Samurai Saga. Samurai Saga over Sarah. Ginli C. Floodgate. Gravediggers. Normal Myrmilio. Samurai Saga. Target and shuffle one of the banished zombies. Shifted to defense, whose attack is less than or equal to. Myrmilio get the Gravedigger. Myrmilio into Sarah. Break off Trap Hole from hand, courtesy of Traptrix. Sarah getting Vesiculo. Traptrix on the field by herself since turn 1. And hence why Traptrix is my favorite Traptrix. I gotta say though, like, what card design does this when it comes to Traptrix Atrax? Just straight up activate bottomless trap holes or any other trap hole trap cards from the hand is quite ridiculousness. And this next matchup, depending on what this hand is looking like, normal Genlisi into Sarah. Set the 2 and hard pass. Petrulia Devyati. Okay, so up against Infernoids, specialing the Atandel. Void. Atandel tribute to banish the Genlisi, but Ghost Spell with the save. Sarah for Myrmilio. Mandatory effect. Sarah setting Floodgate. Reasoning. Normally, it has to be level 1 because of Decatron being a card. Whoa! Didn't see that coming. I legit forgot that Blaster is off the Master Duel ban list. Banishment. Set. Blaster over Sarah. Myrmilio into Sarah. Void Feast. Paramai, Decatron, and Jet. The 3 Infernoids equals 8. So 6, 1, 7, and then 1, that's 8. Sarah, Decatron, Floodgate all of them. Paramai, Tribute, banish the Myrmilio. Decatron toss out Anunku. Sarah for another Myrmilio. Mandatory trigger. Sarah setting Traptrix Trap Nightmare. And 2 more set. Banish 2 for Atandel. Shade Brigadine. Atandel Tribute Decatron. Target Genlisi to banish. Traptrix Trap Nightmare with the save. Sarah. Special Dionea. Dionea, reset button to void. Sarah setting break off. Blaster. Banishing Atandel Decatron. Void Imagination. We do have something off from the extra deck. Let's see what's the case. Fusion summon an Infernoid Fusion Tierra by using monsters from your hand, side of the field, and use up to 6 monsters in your main deck. Oh, this is not good. Cut my opponent off by de-barrier calling fusions. Blaster over Sarah. And I believe this is a Sarah number 2. 2 together. Elamiris. Elamiris. Detach 2 for Myrmilio. Mandatory. Myrmilio into Sarah. Break off. And good night to all. Sarah. Special Atrax. $35, 8, 22, 65 total. That is 15 left. Take away the void. Dionea, reset button to Traptrix Chapeau Nightmare, and of course, Sarah Myrmilio for Caleria, and Caleria revive Dionea. Caleria and Alamaris for Lava Golem as the last card from their hand. And next matchup with this hand, all I can say is it's fine. Mantis, search Vesiculo. Mantis into Sarah. Set 2. And straight up pass. Extravagance, doesn't care about extra deck. Pegatops. Vernisil Corolla. Full Bloom, so up against Vernisils. Deduct, discard itself for whatever the reason, just in case if opponent has XZs. D-Barrier, call XZ. Getting Flowering Fields, the rabbit. Full Bloom, target Sarah. Sarah. Special Myrmilio. Kick it back to the extra. Thanks for the Sarah back. Normal the Flower Fields. Tops over Myrmilio. Duck and Rabbit. Vesiculo. Normal Dionea. Revive Myrmilio. Mandatory effect. Kill off Corolla. Dionea and Vesiculo for Babushka. Everybody to defense they go. Pegatops to attack. No, go back to defense. Normal Awakening Forest defense mode 2. Tops trigger. Attempt to pop Babushka, but no can do due to Babushka. While it's in face-up defense, change all face-up monsters to defense. Also, negate the activated effects of monsters that were in defense when this effect was activated. Babushka, mandatory cost. To attack they go. Babushka to attack mode first. You don't want any other monsters to be stuck in defense. Switch Myrmilio after Babushka. Normal Dionea. Revive Mantis. 2 together for Alsa. Alsa. Revive Tops. Babushka go up into Drill Driver. Myrmilio over Duck. Alsa over Sleeping Bear. Drill Driver over Rabbit. Pierce. Tops 26. Vesiculo. Banish. Set the Traptrix Chapeau Nightmare because we got one in hand. Set. Call by to Dionea. End phase. Chibi Tops. Destroy the bear. And then we just win the game from there on out. And then the next matchup, this hand, it's definitely reverse psychology hand. Myrmilio normal, getting the floodgate. Myrmilio into Sarah. And 1 set for Shade. Sarah. getting out the Traptrix and one set. Monster Reborn the Myrmilio, and I am so angry that my opponent did this, which is not the right move that the opponent made. Technically, it is the right move because Myrmilio only pops one of my back row, and I am so mad that opponent did not Raigeki this field. Because I wanted Starlight Row to go off just so I can get the Stardust out, but opponent made an even smarter move. Okay, up against Marincess. So normal to Seahorse. Floodgate to prevent the Marincess combo go off. Sarah into Nepenthes. And pass. Based off from Mirror Force, Sarah cannot be touched, all in defense, and Traptrix is the only one dying off from Mirror Force. That was also not the right move to be made. I am so mad. Sarah getting Genlisi. Genlisi over Seahorse. But you know what? It's okay. Exige Shokan into Elamiris. Elamiris, bring back Traptrix just to keep the trap cards in hand live, courtesy of Traptrix, and setting break off courtesy of Sarah. And this next matchup, this hand, I'd say this is something. Normal Traptrix, because we have no traps in hand now. Traptrix into Sarah, 2 set and pass. Okay, Tenyi, Nahada, the green Tenyi. Heavenly Dragon Circle, Chibi Nahada. Ash keeping in check. Yo! Shatterfoil Pancratops, wild. Which is gonna get met by Solemn Judgment. And phase. D-Berry for Synchros in case Sword Soul is a thing. Sarah, Special Myrmilio, mandatory triggers. Sarah, set the Gravedigger, just in case if there are more Tenyis in the hand. Normal Dionea. Dionea getting Traptrix. There's Maxi. Psych. Fire off the Gravedigger. Negate Maxi, take 2000. Double the effects of Sarah, make that straight up set the trap from deck because Ash is a card. For another Gravedigger. 2 together for Asa. Asa, Steel Tops. And then winning. Okay, next matchup. This hand, weird. Okay, Fusion base deck. Solid Soldier, King of the Swamp. So, up against Heroes, sure. Absolute Zero. Normal Mantis. Mantis getting Vesiculo. Mantis into Sarah. Set the D barrier. Vesiculo, get rid of it. Sarah setting Floodgate. 2 together for Caleria. Caleria, bring back Mantis. F-Zeros over Caleria. Normal Mantis. Mantis getting Vesiculo again. 2 Mantis into Babushka. Zeros to defense. Babushka goes up to Drill Driver. Here's spider damage. Over Ab-Zero. Ab-Zero destroys Driver. Drill Driver. Revive Mantis. Same battle. Mantis attacks for 15. Mantis into Sarah. Vesiculo, send the Floodgate. Sarah, setting Time Space. And another set. 2 together for Caleria. And Caleria, bring back the Mantis. And then the heroes scooped. Right, and looking at this next hand, it's quite something. Myrmilio normal getting Gravedigger. Myrmilio into Sarah. And 1 set. Duality. Sure. Imperm. Raigeki. Planet Pathfinder. So, Imperm, Raigeki, Planet Pathfinder. Gets the Imperm. Okay, Pacifist. Do not activate any card or effect at all. We're just gonna keep on normal summon, special summon, and just beat down the opponent. Normal Vesiculo. There's the Sea Stealth. Imperm on Vesiculo. Do not trigger Sarah because we don't want the opponent to play the game. Vesiculo, Sarah, 22. Opponent at 58. As you can see, by not activating anything, we just keep on summoning and beating down the opponent. Another Vesiculo summon, 8 and 28. Double Vesiculos, making it lethal. Number 1 rule. If you go against Pacifist, don't activate any card. And of course, this last match of the Attribute 4 Festival, with this hand, it's definitely something. Normal Myrmilio. Myrmilio into Sarah. And 1 set. Only because we want Traptrix out from the deck as quick as possible. Extrav doesn't care about the extra deck. I am very angry that the opponent had Lightning Storm out the gate. Normal Squire. Special out the Special Sword. Goes for Samurai Saga. Samurai Saga over Sarah. Normal Vesiculo. Vesiculo into Sarah. And 4 set. Knowing that Lightning Storm is out of the way now. Desires. Special Sword with Squire and Grave. Grave Digger Traptrix. Call by on to Sarah. Oh boy. Solemn Judgment as Chain 4. Sarah? And there's the droplet. Well, we tried. Normal Squire. Floodgate, the Squire. Goes for a Special Sword. Whoa! Shiranui Shogun Saga. Upon special summon, doesn't matter how it's special, banish a zombie from grave, gains that much attack equal to the banished monster's original. Banishes Special Sword, extra 8, 38 for 32. Time space it back to the extra deck. Because I almost just realized that game is where if I forgot about time space trap hole all this time about how it works, I legit would have ended up losing the game from the get-go. Vesiculo, setting Gravedigger. Sarah, setting Floodgate. Set the bottomless. Sarah over Squire. Special Sword with Samurai Saga. There's Gravedigger's number 2. Sarah goes for Dionea. Dionea, reset button Gravedigger. Sarah setting another Gravedigger. Solitaire summon, Floodgate, and a set. Sarah over Solitaire, Dionea 17. 2 together for Caleria. Set the Traptrix Nightmare. Caleria gets Myrmilio. Killing off a Bluff Extravagance. And Gravedigger is out of there. Tribute Caleria for Kaiju, and there's the Dogoran Kaiju, so Kaiju to Kaiju. And what's even more funnier is that opponent is literally giving me the insect Kaiju, meaning that not only I can use it for a beater, but link summoning with the said Godarla Kaiju for Caleria, because it is also indeed a insect, which is wild. Oh, and bottomless the Dogoran, not the Godarla. Special Sword for the 3rd time. Gravedigger for the 3rd time. Excuse me? Deep Sea Diva in a zombie deck? That's crazy. Normal summon, special 1 level 3 or lower Sea Serpent from the deck, which is another copy of Diva included. And the opponent ran out of steam.